Chapter 1.7, Causation in Period 1. This is the capstone of Unit 1, and it's less about new facts and more about a skill the exam rewards more than almost any other: causation. We're going to step back from the details and connect the whole period as one big chain of causes and effects. Then learn exactly how to turn that into points on the AP exam. Let's bring it all together. First, what is this topic? Chapter 1.7 isn't really about memorizing new facts. It's a way of thinking about everything in Period 1. The skill is causation, identifying causes and effects and explaining how they connect. And this matters enormously because causation shows up across the whole exam, in short answer questions, the document-based question, and the long essay. The big development at the centre of Period 1 is transatlantic contact after 1492, and your job is to explain what it caused and why. Master this skill here and you'll use it all year. Let's define the skill itself. Good causation reasoning does four things. First, it identifies causes, why something happened, and effects, what followed from it. Second, it separates long-term causes from immediate triggers. Remember how 1453 was a trigger, while motives and technology were deeper causes. Third, it doesn't confuse correlation with causation. Two things happening together doesn't mean one caused the other. And fourth, it weighs which causes mattered most. The golden rule: explain the connection, don't just list events. Every event sits in a chain. What led to it and what flowed from it. Here's all of Period 1 on one slide. On the left, the causes that drove Europeans across the Atlantic. Their motives: God, gold, glory and goods. The closing of the Asia route in 1453. New ships and navigation technology. And competition between rival nation-states. All of that fed into the central event: sustained transatlantic contact, beginning in 1492. And out of that contact flowed the great effects: the Columbian Exchange, the great dying from disease, the rise of the Spanish Empire and slavery, and a new world of racial caste and cultural blending. Causes in, contact in the middle, effects out. If you can rebuild this diagram from memory, you understand Period 1. Let's recap the causes. The left side of that diagram. Europeans sailed because of powerful motives: God, gold, glory and goods. That hunger for Asian trade. The immediate trigger was 1453, when the Ottomans closed the overland route to Asia. They could actually do it because of new technology: the caravel, the compass, the astrolabe, and because strong new nation-states could fund and organise the voyages. And fierce competition, especially between Portugal and Spain, drove the race forward. Motives plus a trigger plus technology plus ambitious states. That's why contact happened. Now the effects. The right side of the diagram. Contact set off the Columbian Exchange, moving crops and animals both ways, and disease. That disease caused the Great Dying, killing up to 90% of native peoples. It enabled Spanish conquest and empire, as Cortés and Pizarro toppled the Aztec and Inca. It produced coerced labor systems, the encomienda, and then African slavery and the Atlantic slave trade. And it created an entirely new society built on racial caste, cultural blending and native resistance. Exchange, death, empire, slavery and a new culture. Those are the effects. Here's a distinction the exam rewards: short-term versus long-term. A short-term effect of contact was the epidemics that killed millions within decades. A long-term effect was race-based slavery and a racial hierarchy that shaped the Americas for centuries. The same works for causes. A short-term cause of exploration was the closing of the trade route in 1453, while a long-term cause was Europe's slowly growing wealth, technology, and ambition. When you write, sort your causes and effects by time frame: short-term shock, long-term legacy. It instantly makes your argument look sophisticated. Another move that earns points: weighing causes. Not all causes carry equal weight, and strong historians rank them. Take our big question: why did a few hundred Spaniards defeat empires of millions? You could list steel, horses, allies, division, and disease. But many historians argue that disease was the single most important factor, because it shattered populations before battles were even fought. The skill is to make a claim about what mattered most, and then defend it with evidence. Don't just list causes, weigh them. That's the difference between a summary and an argument. So how do you turn all this into points? Every causation answer needs three things: a claim, a clear thesis that actually answers the cause and effect question; evidence, specific facts from period 1, like smallpox, the encomienda, or the Treaty of Tordesillas; and reasoning, and this is where students lose points. You must explain how the cause led to the effect, not just state that it did. For top marks, add sophistication. Weigh the causes, or distinguish long-term from short-term. Remember the skeleton: claim, evidence, reasoning. And the golden rule, one more time: don't narrate, argue. Finally, where does period 1 leave us? Between 1491 and 1607, transatlantic contact completely remade the Atlantic world and built the basic patterns of the centuries to come: empire, coerced labor, and racial hierarchy. Period 2, beginning in 1607, opens the era of English colonization, and the English will repeat some of these patterns and change others as they build their own colonies. The point is that everything ahead in this course grows from the foundation laid here. Period 1 is the soil. The rest of American history is what grows out of it. Let's zoom all the way out to the two key concepts that hold up the entire unit. Key concept 1.1. Before contact, native peoples developed diverse and increasingly complex societies by adapting to and transforming their environments. Key concept 1.2. Contact among Europeans, Native Americans, and Africans drove the Columbian Exchange and vast social, cultural, and political change on both sides of the Atlantic. If you can explain those two sentences with evidence, you have mastered Unit 1. Everything we covered hangs off these two ideas. Lock it in. Screenshot this slide. 1. Causes in, effects out. Picture contact as the hub, with causes feeding in and effects flowing out. 2. Long-term versus short-term. Always sort your causes and effects by time frame. 3. Weigh, don't list. Rank causes by importance. Disease top the list for conquest. And 4. CER. Claim, evidence, reasoning. The skeleton of every causation answer. 4 hooks, and you can think like a historian about all of period 1. 60-second recap of the whole skill. 1. Topic 1.7 is about the skill of causation applied to all of period 1. 2. The causes of contact were Europe's motives, the trigger of 1453, new technology, and ambitious rival states. 3. The effects were the Columbian Exchange, the Great Dying, the Spanish Empire, slavery, and a world of caste and cultural blending. 4. Sort your causes and effects by time frame and weigh which mattered most. And 5. On essays, use claim, evidence, and reasoning. Explain how causes led to effects and never just narrate. Lock it in. And that completes all 7 chapters of Unit 1. Fantastic work! Next up is the big one, a full Unit 1 review, pulling together every key concept, plus a set of multiple choice practice questions in real exam style to test what you've learned. It's the best way to make sure it all stuck. Subscribe so you don't miss it, and I'll see you in the Unit 1 review on your way to a 5.